Hello and welcome to episode 15 of When Pigs Fly. I am Patty and I'm joined by Tracy and Renee. Good morning, ladies.
Hello.
Morning.
How is everybody? Today, we have such a fun topic for everybody. We love it. And this is, are you afraid of your power? So we know that for many of you who are listening, that this spiritual journey or spiritual awakening, whatever words resonate with you, comes with some newfound power. So we're going to talk today specifically about, are you fearful of it? Because in order to embrace it, we literally need to let go of our old programming of this is a whole new operating system. It's a whole new operating system. And can you trust it and can you allow it? And Renee, I see you shaking your head. Yes. What do you have on this subject?
I know. Well, what I always call the healers are coming in and saying there's so much energy that is now shifting and these timelines are breaking down. So we are being forced to come into our truth, our power in a very loving manner of true oneness is exactly how they're saying that. And a lot of times we are so afraid of that power because if I say this or I think this and it's actually going to happen, well, who the hell am I? Like this is going to go against everything because right now we are breaking down they're showing this form within our physical form. So the physical form, the identity of who and what we were, and they're being very specific in were. We are no longer that identity. It does not exist. It left the end of December of 2023. That identity left. And right now we're being pushed into this whole energetic field of the unknown. And that is fucking scary as hell because we don't know. And what it's forcing people to do, they're saying, is to retreat back into, oh my God, yeah, the old ways. They're literally showing like a scrambling to do that instead of embracing and saying, okay, I'm going to embrace this. I'm changing for the better. Things are breaking down. Things are coming into the forefront. Things are, I'm seeing whatever aches, pains, sickness, death, all that stuff. It's all happening for a particular beautiful reason in the big picture of us coming back home into the oneness, into this field of true light. And we are being invited. I love when they say we're being invited to walk this journey of light. And they're saying that's all we really have to do is say, I accept and I honor this. And this is who and what I am. I am all that I am. And in that statement, it's allowing you to come forth into your truth and into this light in a different, and they're showing like a spin, like in this different spin of things, because we have to start to view things differently. We do not have that same thought pattern. And that's where some people are, oh my God, I can't get my thoughts straight and I'm feeling confused and I don't know. Don't go into an illness. They're saying that's not the illness. Timelines are breaking down. Like all that stuff is breaking down. And it's now time for us to embrace this shift, embrace this change. Say, okay, what am I today? What am I going to do today? Right? I'm feeling this. I welcome and I invite it. And it's not in a mean way. It's not in it like, oh, I'm not going to, I love all my aches and pains. No, but embrace it. Start to look at it differently. Oh, this ache and this pain. The energy that's coming in is shifting the old stuff out. Maybe I had an energetic misalignment there, or maybe I hit something in there. And they're saying a huge, huge thing for everybody is if you got back in touch with your body and said, okay, look at, I'm going to put some music on that makes me rock and makes me happy. And I am just going to start moving. Your body knows how it needs to move to release energetic blocks, to allow the energy to come down into you. So they're saying, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't go into a dance that, oh, well, this is how I dance. This is the movement. I'm like, no, let your body tell you what and how it wants to move. Because they're saying right now, this is critical. It's very critical because that's going to set you free and that's going to allow all of this stuff to come in easily and effortlessly. And let go of the thought that, oh, it's got to be difficult. It's got to be hard. They're saying, let it go. That's not the way it is.
Yeah. And don't question your worthiness because, by the way, you're worthy and your choice to acknowledge it or not is up to you. And really looking at the any worthiness programs you're running, and then don't be afraid of the power because what there's such a great safety in freedom in knowing that you do, right? Would you rather be in fear or feeling out of control? Right? Knowing that you can control and create, we do. Our thoughts create things. And I know I've heard this a lot in coaching where people say, oh no, but I've had bad thoughts. And then it's like, there's no power in fear. But so in order to create something out of fear, you have to perpetuate the fear over and over and over and over and over. But there's beautiful power in creating from a space of love and a space of worthiness and finding a freedom in that. And like I love what you said. I use a technique sometimes, Renee, too, where if you wake up and felt like, oh, I think I had a busy night's sleep there, shake your hands and your feet before you get out of the bed. Literally shake that energy off. And yeah, I love what you said about like what reckless dancing. It might feel reckless, but you're literally helping yourself to purge that energy because we're constantly the energy gets purged for us when it gets pushed in. When new stuff comes in, we're getting more light. Our bodies are receiving a ton of light right now. And so where is it going? It has to push out anything that's where you want to make that choice and start to question what exactly is it you're afraid of, right? And what are you afraid you would create? And instead focus on, okay, what do I want to create in this now moment, right? How can I embrace it? Tracy, do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I want to loop back and speak to what Renee was saying about listen to your body. And I just wrote something yesterday called Catch Me If You Can, because I am changing so drastically. Whereas my joke is one day, all I want to eat is meat, cheese, and butter. Like that. I just want meat, cheese, and butter. And I want to really press my body, like go in the sauna and crank it up to, 130 and then jump in my pool and do a cold plunge and really like extreme. My body's craving it. It's almost as if there's a power in me that's literally pushing me in the pool because the pool's freezing. And I really don't want to go in the pool, but then it feels so freaking amazing. It's like your body's on fire after. And then the next day, I'm exhausted and I don't want to do anything. And I'm just going to lay around outside and eat some fruit. And do you see how extreme that is? And I'm really tuning into my body. And I found myself yesterday Googling, how long do you have to stay in the cold for an effective cold plunge? And I'm like, what are you think Google knows better than you? Shut the book. What are you doing? And this, right? Like even the best of us, it's so fascinating when you really give your body carte blanche. What do you need? What do you want? And don't question what it wants and how freaking amazing it feels. Like
And
you asked
honor it.
me, yeah,
Honor it and go, it's in your best and highest good. And the body does know. I mean, our bodies are so intelligent.
but do you
And
see how I'm chucking all the theory out the door? Well, be this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Fuck
I,
all of that. What do you want right now? And then I joke an hour later, I'm like, that was an hour ago. This is what I want. You know what
yeah.
like, it's
And
really,
by the
oh,
way, Tracy, you're bringing up this is a very popular subject right now. Do you know why? Because our energies are changing so quickly. We're like, jumping timelines and so forth energetically. The food cravings are all over the place. And it's like, oh, like one day I want far, one day I want this. And it's absolutely indulge it. You're getting that's coming from your higher self saying, this is what your body needs and wants right now. And it's absolutely true. 2 hours later, you might go, oh, wait, no, now I need some salty popcorn. And literally don't push against that. Don't push against that because you're following what you're doing is following your energy. This is what we're talking about, following our guidance. So, and man, food is a big one. And you have to throw out any crap that hear about the 4 food groups and all, right? Obviously, we, Organic is best because it's the clean food. It comes from the earth. We're connected to the earth. So you keep that in mind. But you never eat in fear. You never eat in guilt. You never eat in shame. You literally go, what does my body feel like right now? And if that's like a slice of pizza is going to make me feel like $1,000,000, go eat the freaking pizza. It's serving a purpose for you. Right?
Go ahead, Tracy. It looked like you were wanting to say something with that food thing when you first started. Did you?
Yeah.
This is with the topic of our, what we was being,
Are you afraid of your power?
Are you afraid? Okay. Yes. Because that is our power. We subscribe to all the if, ands, buts, and we are the power. We are our best resource of what's good for us in every moment. And gosh, to really embrace, it's crazy right now. My daughter was making summer rolls last night at 10:30 at night, and and it's a school night. And what would the stereotypical mom, don't eat so late, you need to get to bed. And I'm like, make one for me, extra peanut sauce. You know what I mean? But it emanates out when you give that a gateway of allowance. I love to see those around me kind of honoring that platform. And Renee, this goes kind of nicely into energizing our food and our water, and how important we had spoke that in a previous episode of whatever you do, have it be out of joy and love and passion and creativity and energize it.
Right.
Absolutely, because that's how your body's receiving it. And include it, like it's your water. Alchemize your water. Everything has energy and everything is energy. And how you choose to consume it is how your body receives it. Proven, like, right, Renee?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And sort of like circling back around and like being afraid of the power, because people don't recognize when they're getting things, or when you're okay, look, I really want to eat this, but my belief system, and that's what the healers always say, your belief systems have this whole thing on, oh, well, if I eat this and I eat this, it's going to make me fat, or it's going to do this, or it's going to do this, or if I speak my truth, I'm going to get chastised by somebody. I'm not going to be a piece and a part of the group anymore. When my husband and I were dating, I remember we went to dinner, and first thing I ordered was dessert, and everybody ordered their dinners. And I'm like, no, if I'm still hungry, then I'll order dinner after that. Like, because I love dessert. Like, that's what I love. But I wasn't afraid to go out and do that, because I was like, okay, well, hey, this is the way I eat. This is the way, I want to do things. But it's being okay with who you are and saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to say this, and I know it's not going to be okay with the group of friends that I have or the family or whatever, but speak your truth, do that power. Like right now, we are being forced to really speak and follow what I will say is our body, which is our truth, because that's a piece and a part of us. And it really has this whole energetic imbalance right now that's attempting to come back into balance. And as we come back into this balance, we are going to, first of all, a lot of the people that we know are sort of fall to the wayside, because if they don't agree with what you're saying, they're going to judge you. You're going to feel that big time. And when you're feeling that, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I don't think that really vibrates with me. And they sort of like leave. But you have to speak your truth. You have to listen to your system, respond the way you did. If you look at this and you say, okay, I'm going to eat this and it's going to make me fat or whatever it is, then congratulations, it's going to make you fat. If you look at that whole aspect and say, no, I'm going to let go of the belief system, because the healers say and this is sort of like a whole other thing, but the healers have always said, because I'll be like, oh my God, why does that child have cancer? Why is this like, this is horrible. And they sort of like, why did you guys create that? And they sort of looked at me and they're like, you humans created illness. You humans created this whole thing on what the body image is. And I was like, wait, what? Like, and they said, yeah, in the separation, that's how you can continue to bring in separation within not only your body, but within each and every other person within this world. And it's time for us now to come together and speak our power and be okay with speaking out, because that's the only way change is going to be made within our world and within us. And when I say within our world, I mean within your energy field and within the entire world. Because as we're changing, We're changing the energy of the world. And we've all seen what's happening there out in the world. Things are breaking down. And we have to come forth and speak our truth and not be afraid of it, whatever that is. And it might be, Tracy, you will probably respond beautifully with this one too, because, and it might be that today this is what I believe, but tomorrow I believe, or an hour from now, I believe something completely different. Because we're changing and we're shifting, we're finding that beautiful truth. Let that come forward. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
100%. And our higher self, our soul is assured absolute wellness. It's assured absolute wellness. And when you allow that, it's an allowing process, like you said, Renee, you are now in complete control of what goes on in your body. You are, it's that allowing. And part of separation is that, okay, how do our body, is that belief that, oh no, I'm not in control what's going on in my body. That's like the last piece of separation that exists before you're able to completely clear your energy and be in a field of oneness, is to say, okay, wait, again, we're expanding. We are bigger than this body. We know this. We have the ability to observe our thoughts. So who is that, right? The observer is the one running your body. However, and they'll say, okay, well then why do I have this in your body? Because we have free will. So your higher self, your oversoul, whatever name you want to call it, will not interfere with the who-man, I call it, your who-man willpower. So if you choose to focus on that, you are now just like, you're cutting that cord off. You're blocking it. And so getting into trust and synchronicity, like Tracy was saying, hey, in an hour, now I'm craving this, like 3 days ago, it might've been something else. And just going with that. And I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I've seen like crazy guidance around food where I'm like, I don't even buy a lot of anything anymore. I just wait because I'm like, I'm not going to stockpile that because next week it's going to be something else, and make that fun, and knowing that that's what you're being guided to put in your body right now. And it feels good. And you go with it and ingest it, like you said, with absolute joy. And I know, Tracy, we're both foodies. We love our food, and it goes in with love. And guess what? That's the game, right? That is how we're, how can we use this power? You can use the power in so many good ways. And Tracy, you mentioned something in our little sidebar, and I would love for you to bring up, how do we what did you call it? Responsible stewardship. I like that. It sounds very official.
Responsible stewardship. And this, the bigger concept is we really need to shift to the goodness and the well-being of the whole, as opposed to the one. And this is presented a lot to me with children, employees, and that a lot of people are always operating and thinking in the best interest of what is going to be beneficial and suit them, without expanding the scope and the view of, but does this also serve the whole? And ironically, a lot of times I'm finding what people think are for their best good, actually it's not, because they don't understand. I like to see things in equations. They don't see the entire equation. They're just seeing one little snippet, one little code encryption. And if they could look at the entire equation, they would see it is not what is in their best good. And we'll probably have to do another episode of, we are grounding differently, and we really have to find the stability and the strength within ourselves, instead of attaching onto structures like the school system. This is how we do it. And this is how the government, all the laws, all the regulations, well, no, I went to the doctor and they say this and I have to do this. And to really work towards letting all of that go and just grounding in ourselves, which I know this is a lot to wrap your head at. That's the wholeness, right? Bringing it home into truth is actually allowing the wholeness, which is a bit trippy to wrap your head around. Maybe one of you could explain that more eloquently.
Because you just brought in a story that something, and this is a practice that I use. So when we get a bunch of new energy in, and I know you can feel what we call ascension symptoms, and these are not negative symptoms, by the way. What happens is when we get loaded with a bunch of new energy, we then have to integrate it and let it acclimate and stabilize. And one of the ways that I stabilize is with the earth, with Gaia. I eat root vegetables. I eat root vegetables. You're now grounding with energetic energy because we are connected. It's like you have to stop thinking you're separate from the universal energy. We're not separate. We're part of it. We're part of Gaia. And so what we're trying to do here is encourage you, think expansively. You are connected. You're connected to the air, you're connected to the ground. And so to help with grounding in specific particular, like in these times, because we're getting big flushes of energy, okay, go eat some root vegetables because now you're connecting with the energetic of the earth and it will help you, bring you into your space.
Yeah, I love that. And I think we have to expand on all of this whole food thing. I think that has to be like our next thing because this is huge and all that stuff, but also recognizing what and we've said this over and over, but I'm going to say it again, what you're putting your energy to. If you are every day looking at your health and, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. You have to recognize what you're creating from an energetic point. So anything that you eat, you're sort of overriding that whole aspect of, well, oh, I'm still feeling this pain, or I'm doing this, and oh, I'm supposed to be eating this, but this is creating this. Well, how are you? Exactly what you said, Patty, and I think you said the same thing, Tracy. Of, okay, when I'm eating this, what is my intention there? But recognizing that the power of what you are thinking on that daily basis, that I'm waking up and I'm talking, oh, and I've got this ache here and I've got this ache here. How often are you talking about your health in not the I'm whole and healthy way? How often, start to flip that narrative of every single thing in your life, every single thing that you're saying. I challenge you right now to start to look at it a different way. Look at it from somebody else's perspective. What would this person think of that? What would that person think of that? How would they react to this? And I'm not saying do it. I'm just trying to expand that consciousness of seeing how these things, how differently you can see things. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And know where that comes from, Renee. And I see this. I've had helped clients with this exact thing because they have that look at my owie. When you were little and you were sick, you got love. And if you still feel a void in that area that the love's coming from somebody else, you're an adult now still playing, look at my owie. Instead of, I'm already whole. And right. And more to what Tracy was saying too, when you set an intention, does this benefit more than just me? Yes. When you can answer yes to does this benefit more than just me, now you're tied into the oneness, you're into the energy. Yeah, but pay attention if you're playing look at my owie. There's somewhere in there, and then go heal that sucker. Thank you for coming. Elvis has left the building and now I'm allowing more light and love in. And that is the power game, right?
Absolutely. And one thing on that, when you recognize that, and that was awesome. I love that because you're right. You get that love and now you're looking for that love. So if I can continue to complain about this, somebody's going to feel sorry and they're misconstruing that as, okay, well, I'm getting attention, and it's not really the love you're looking for. You need to look for the love from yourself internally. So it's that point of okay, look at, and here's one thing that I say, which blows me away every time. If I come across something like that or a client does, and I'm like, okay, I tell their body, look at my eyes, meaning, that particular person, look at my eyes, looking at their eyes so that they recognize, oh, I grew up and I'm a whole different person. Oh my God, I can have the love. I've got a voice now. I have so that because those children, I'll call them, are stuck in that age or that whatever, they don't know that we grew up. And so when they look at your eyes and they start to see, they're like, oh, yeah. And then saying, we grew up and I have your voice. I've got you covered. I love you. We're not looking at anyplace else now. I love you. Come back home into my heart. Join forces with all of us and let us now play together in joy.
Yeah. Love's not out there.
Yeah.
Your love is not out there in another person. You are it, and it's a state of being. It's a state of being, and when you look at it that way, and then what we'll refer back, go do that mirror work.
Yes.
We're okay. We don't need to show our owies anymore, right?
Yeah.
And what happens psychologically? Mommy's gonna kiss it. Oh, the love. When did the pain go away? When did the crying stop? When the love came. So, but see, that is not what you want to rely on. The love doesn't. It's already within you, and you have that ability to tap into that and own it. And that's Tracy. I can see the wheels turning. What do you got?
You know,
I agree with all that. And it kind of feeds right back into that, getting that strength and stability and grounding within us, because then we show up so much better for everybody. That is, I'm going to say a pretty bold statement, how selfish it is for us to want love from external, because then we are not showing up as our best self, which is serving the whole. So what you just said, like how that is serving everybody, the whole, when we show up as our best self, most loving, in our strength, in our truth, that's how we get into that beautiful wholeness consciousness, unity consciousness.
Yeah. And we see so many people that put their entire existence and identity based on, does one person love me? You need to love you. And that's what this is the work. You need to love yourself unconditionally and recognize if you've given away all of your power to one person and saying that one person has, no one can rob you of love but yourself. No one
And
can.
you just answered, because I think I've said it on air a couple times. Like, why wouldn't we want to be miraculously healthy? I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want to be vibrantly, miraculously healthy, self-regenerative, restorative every day. Oh, because we want our owie kissed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
God, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I respect everyone's journey, and I'm sure I do that sometimes myself, but I'm going to pick a miraculous superhuman being, right? Like you girls keep reminding me, no, we're miraculous. Pick that one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and not only that, then you're not, if you are that beautiful being and there's, being able to do all these things, are you accepted by society? Because it's, oh, isn't she full of herself? Oh, look, she can do this, she can do that, or he can. It's that whole thing. So that's okay. Stand in that power, stand into what you are, show them the way.
Yes, be a guide, be an inspiration. And, I use this one, were you the kid at school that didn't have a place at that popular lunch table? No, but by the way, they were all struggling like all hell to keep up with each other. And didn't you always find a place to sit where you weren't judged, where you always found a place to sit and there were others. So it's get out of this comparison mindset and stand in your power instead of saying, do I deserve love from that? You are love. You're already worthy. Your wellness is actually assured. And then your job is to have an awareness. Where am I blocking my own wellness? Did you give away the power that you have to assure your own wellness through separation? And then just recognizing it. But when you recognize it, you can go, oh, wait a minute. That was me. What happened when you called out sick from school? Oh, I got to stay home. I got extra attention, and recognizing that is not serving you in any way. That how is my wellness assured? And also for people looking for relationships, the same thing applies. I'm not whole at all. I think I'm totally fucked up. Will you please love me? Will you look at all of my love relationship owies? No, you're like attracts like. You're gonna bring in somebody. Oh no, well, I'm busted up and fucked up too. So let's get together and be one big fucked up mess together. That's what happens. And when you say, oh, I keep attracting, yes, because you didn't have the awareness and say, how do I show up? Do I show up whole in my relationships? And this is a whole other thing, but so we got to wrap. But Tracy, great discussion. Any closing thoughts here?
Well, yeah, I think we just need to keep going. I think sum it up, be in your power and love yourself and claim you're miraculous, you're whole, you're healthy, claim it.
Yeah. Renee?
That you guys just said it all.
Yeah, that times 1,000, right? All right. Well, great discussion today, ladies. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Again, click the subscribe button if you like what you hear. And keep the feedback coming, keep your comments coming. And we are happy to address things that really spark conversation or just spark a question in you that if anything that we say makes you say to yourself, ooh, I do that. That sounds like me. Then that's how you know this is the right tribe for you. So we love you guys and thanks for being here.